Hello everyone. Today we are talking about technology, equipment, software, and all the nerdy stuff. But I'm actually going to take these glasses off because there's a big glare. Check it out. You can see my box light. Now you can see the outside. Just too much glare. These are blue light blocking glasses. Great to have if you are on a computer a lot, so recommended. But we're getting into technology today, one of my favorite topics. I love talking about software, internet, technology, and I'm a yoga teacher. So those of you who are a little like, I can't do this, I am here for you. I am here for you, I promise. If you have not downloaded the virtual yoga teacher guide, or actually it's more like a virtual yoga business guide with business plan and all the notes that I am providing you for the next few days for this series, then please download it here. I will also have these replays available through email if you do, all in one email if you do download this. So we're on to day 2. Yesterday we covered, what did we cover yesterday? The common mistakes and misconceptions that new yoga teachers face when they are starting out in their business. And today we're talking about technology, equipment, and actually getting started. So we're moving along the path for those of you who are like, okay, what are my next steps? And in this video, I can't share everything because that takes a lot longer, which is why you can, if you choose to, work with me inside of Virtual Vinyasa Academy, which is my course and coaching program to help new yoga teachers build their business, start their business, grow it, scale it, all that stuff. We'll talk a little bit more about the business plan and how I formulate my business tomorrow. But today we're getting on to the technology. You can see I'm just so excited about this. Feel free to leave comments again saying where you're watching from, who you are, what you're doing, who you teach. Actually, mostly just like where you're from. I am in Poulsbo, Washington. It's just west of Seattle. It's a grayish day. It's one of those typical Seattle-style days. And it's a lovely day, though, for the lighting, at least, to come into my studio. So grab this guide, whether it's printed or you have it. I will reference it frequently. I do not have a slideshow because I'm just live right on Facebook. So we're actually turning to pages 12, 13, and 14 right here, Technology Overwhelm. What happens when I mention the word technology or software or scaling your business? I know there might be a little bit of the little fight or flight thing going on. Say, I don't want to talk about it. That's not for me. Well, let's talk about it. And I want to make it accessible. And the problem is that sometimes technology can be overwhelming. If you are a millennial like me or younger Gen X, this maybe isn't as overwhelming as we grew up with email. In college, we were using email. We were doing a lot on computers. A lot of things were on computers. But I know for those of you who are just a little bit older, the next generation above, it might be a little more confusing. And in that regard, I might even consider myself quite a bit of an expert. But I try to be an expert that breaks it down so it's simple. So yesterday I posted a video about the actual equipment that I have personally. I love questions about equipment or how to set it up. So if you do have questions, please let me know. You can post in our group or reach out to me if you want help troubleshooting something. So I'm not going to talk too much about the exact equipment and setup. Today we're talking about the software. We'll talk about Zoom. We'll talk about scheduling and booking and how to do all of this on the internet to make it streamlined for you. Right now, if you're just starting out, it can be pretty easy just to manually do everything. Track people on a piece of paper, collect cash. Sure, you could run a business without doing anything on the internet. I mean, it was done for many years prior to, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20. So there's a lot you can do without the internet. But in this day and age and in the continuation of how the world is right now, you know what I mean, we are continuing to need the internet more and more. And I want to make it easy. So it can be a little overwhelming, but let's break it down. What do you absolutely need as a yoga teacher? What do you absolutely need? Let's see. There we go. I can't see comments on here, which is unfortunate. I'll check them out on my phone, okay? Which is great. For another technology reason is that I can use multiple devices and there's always a workaround. So let's go on and just click on this. Hold on a second. Where am I? There we go. I'm going to turn that all the way down. Okay, if there are comments. Oh, hi. Cool. I see people watching with me. Okay, technology is overwhelming. Here's the list on page 12 of the virtual teacher guide. You need 3 things to teach video on video if you are teaching online. And you need 4 things if you're 4 things that are not the equipment for softwares that you need if you are going to teach online. 3 of them you need if you're teaching in person. And I say need because it's honestly just going to make your life so much easier if you have these. For the elements that you need as far as hardware or the equipment, you need something to capture video. Hey, there's a camera. You need something to capture your audio. That's a microphone. You need something to make you look good, which is your lighting. So you might need some of these to be external, or sometimes you can use them as internal. You could simply use the camera on your phone and the microphone on your phone, and that would work just fine. You can also use natural lighting, so you don't actually need a lot of fancy equipment. I would recommend that the audio is the most important, so a microphone that makes you sound good, because with yoga, a lot of us are not watching the teacher intently unless you're a brand new beginner. You might be watching or observing, but we are listening. And listening is going to be the key to guiding your students into their poses and their practice. So having a good microphone that picks up your voice in a good way is going to be one of the most important elements. And the first thing I would recommend upgrading as time goes on. But first and foremost, use what you have until it doesn't work for you anymore, until you cannot move forward unless you upgrade or unless you change something. So you do not need to get all the fancy equipment right away. And even then, it's really not that fancy. It's pretty inexpensive. Most of my fancy equipment is $200 or less each. You can even go a lot less than that. So $30, $40 for a microphone, up to $200, $30, $40, maybe $80 for a webcam or a camera, up to $200. So most of them are like up to $200 for each element. And if you're doing this in the long term, you might want to invest in these. If it's something that you really want to do for your future and it's something that you're going to be making money from, they're tax write-offs. So that means you don't have to pay tax on the equipment that you use to generate income in your business. And it just makes you a little bit more professional. But again, use what you have, get used to being on camera. I've got some homework assignments for you, by the way, and then upgrade as needed. But let's talk about the softwares. Software, what do you need to teach online as far as software goes? The things that I would recommend. Number 1 is a recording software. That is a way to capture video. It might be just on your phone and you're taking a video. That's a recording. There's software in your phone that creates a video. It could be recording on Zoom. So Zoom might be your recording software. It might be the place that you share your videos. It could be Facebook. So a Facebook Live is a recording software or a way to capture your video. It could be YouTube Live. Any live video is a way to capture video. So you need something that's going to actually take a video. It could be a regular camera too with an SD card. That's recording software and hardware, I guess. But you do need some way to capture video. You get to choose. There's a lot of ways. If you're doing live streaming, Facebook Live, that's great. I like Zoom though. Zoom is wonderful because it's separate from social media and you have the option to do one-on-one, or you can do multiple people and you can see the people as well. So on Zoom, you can see people if they have their cameras on, you can make adjustments, and it's one of the most and more popular, probably the most popular web conferencing software. So web conferencing is where you can do webinars, which is just a seminar on the web. But for us, it's where you can do online yoga classes. So that's where you can see people, they can see you. I have several tutorials on how to use Zoom inside my membership, inside the Virtual Vinyasa Academy, and I do have a couple of them on YouTube that are public. So if you search for Ashley Hagen Zoom or Zoom tutorial, I do show up, and there's a few things that little tricks and tips that I share with you. There's also a video that I posted that is my 2-minute live stream yoga setup in my apartment. It's a 2-minute video of how I set up for hosting Zoom yoga classes each morning. And it really just streamlines the process. It's really simple, and I do use Zoom. You can record using Zoom, or you can record using a separate device. So the Zoom quality, let's just talk on Zoom. We're gonna have a segment just on Zoom. So if you have questions on Zoom, please let me know. I'm watching here to see if there's any questions that come in. Questions on Zoom. So Zoom is, again, a web conferencing software, one of the most popular and something I'd recommend. Zoom is free up to 40 minutes, or if you are only having, I think, one person, you can go as long as you want. So if it's just a one-on-one, you can use the free Zoom. I do recommend having this particular software be one of the 2 things that you do pay for, though. So paying is about $15 per month for Zoom, and that gives you unlimited time and up to 100 participants, and allows you to integrate with other softwares that can automatically create new meetings and do things that you can't do just with the free version. So that's the one of 2 things that I recommend you definitely have and you pay for. So Zoom is great. When you get on Zoom, make sure that you set your camera settings, you set your audio settings, and you just sort of check out the space. I'll do a demo at some point very soon that just shows you my exact, how I click around for my morning class setup and how I record. That's not gonna be in this video, but I do love sharing all of these sorts of tips over on my YouTube channel. Just again, search for Ashley Hagen or Ash's Yoga. And I've got playlists that help with microphones, technology, Zoom, setup equipment, tutorials, everything. And if there's something I haven't made or answered and it's in the realm of what I love to share, let me know and I'll probably create it. Yesterday's video on all my equipment in my basket, my bag, that was actually a recommendation from someone in a YouTube comment. And I thought, sure, I can share every equipment piece that I have in my arsenal of what I use. So if you have a question on that, I'm happy to direct you to the appropriate YouTube video. Other than that, Zoom is just, we want to make Zoom easy on us. So the second thing that you'll want, and I recommend paying for, is a booking software. A scheduling and booking software that integrates with Zoom. That means they play well together. So if someone books a class with you on your calendar that's online, it automatically creates a new appointment or a Zoom meeting, and all you have to do is click start. That's it. So you don't have to be creating individual meetings or sending individual links out to people. I would say let's get rid of that process completely. Even if you're just starting out and you only have a few people, it's probably why you only have a few people and why it's sort of hindering your growth, is that we need to make it easier, so much easier for people to sign up with us. And that technology comes from a scheduling and booking site. You may have already heard me talk about Offering Tree. I'm getting more and more into using my Offering Tree website. And in fact, I actually just set up a few more things. So the more and more I dive into Offering Tree, the more and more I realize how robust it actually is. If you use it to its fullest capacity, it can take over any of these other expenses, a lot of headaches that a lot of us are having. So I just set up a few things that I'm not going to discuss here, but it just blew my mind what's available and the ease of use. So with Offering Tree, you can set up different classes, you can set up your schedule, you can set up your payment method, you can set up everything that you would need as a yoga teacher or wellness professional to get started in your online business and start making money like right now. So it takes less than 30 minutes to set up. Post a few pictures in there, easy peasy. Now some of you might be saying, well, if we're all using Offering Tree, all of our websites are gonna look the same. You guys, here's a phrase I want you to remember, okay? Remember this, maybe write it down. Functional, not fancy. Functional, not fancy. That's something I want you to remember forever. Functional, not fancy. And it doesn't mean I want your websites or things looking sloppy. It just means I want it to be simple and in a way that people can actually do the thing that they set out to do or find the information that they set out to find. And that's what Offering Tree does, is it makes it really functional, even though right now, in this very moment, you can't customize a lot of the pages, but there are workarounds where you can make it individual for you. In the next few weeks, they are going to roll out the customized pages, or you're able to change the design a little bit more with the home page. But even the way that it is right now, I promise you, the people that are viewing your website are not seeing every other yoga teacher's website. So your clients that want to book with you at classes, they're not also saying, oh, well, your website looks just like Ashley's. Oh, I know what you're using. You're using Offering Tree. Oh, goodness. No, they're not saying that. They're just saying, where can I click to get to your schedule? What are the prices? Let me learn a little bit more about you. So I promise they're not talking behind your back or comparing your site to others. You can see mine actually, ashesyoga.offeringtree.com. Right now I don't have a unique URL. It's Ashes Yoga, ASHES yoga.offeringtree.com, and you'll actually see a few other pages that I've created too that are very simple. If I want to direct you to one of my recommendations, go over to the resources page on that site and you'll see a very simple list, but it's a list I could give to someone saying, here's what I recommend, here's where you can get all of my recommendations and resources on this page. Nothing fancy, but you click to it and you get what you need. So it's functional. It's not flashy. There's not music playing when you get to it. We're over that. We're not doing music on our pages. Do not, like MySpace, bye-bye. Do not do that. So functionality is the key. Prior to using Offering Tree, I was using Acuity scheduling, and I've talked about it a few times in YouTube and here, and it's still good, but it's not the full package the way that Offering Tree is. And Offering Tree is about the same price, if not a little bit less, and I'll give you those numbers in a moment. So booking software, even if you think you're not quite ready for it, I say go for it, and you can also try it for a few months for a very low cost. I've got a referral link at offeringtree.com/ashes, ASHES, for 50% off your first 3 months. So it's only $15 a month. So you can try it out there. You will need payment processing software, which you can set up in Offering Tree. I also recommend setting up PayPal and Stripe, PayPal and Venmo even, just downloading those sort of apps that people can pay you. I held off on Venmo for a long time because it's not really appropriate to use with business. However, my sister kept nagging me because she wanted to pay me money for something. And I had a few other people asking, hey, I want to just leave you a tip pretty much. What's your Venmo? And so I finally just bit the bullet and downloaded Venmo on my phone, set it up. It was very simple. And so you can set up, just have the places set up. You don't have to be using them necessarily, but setting them up is going to be really helpful in the future when things do come up, so you're not in sort of a pickle. So someone wants to sign up for class, you don't want to have them pay you cash. You want them to pay you prior to the event, but you're not going to actually see them physically. They're not going to mail you a check. That's just not a thing. Do people even write checks anymore? Probably not. So the best way to do prepayment is to have some sort of way people can pay you. Venmo is fine. PayPal is good. Venmo, there's no fees, but it's not for business. I think they're rolling out business soon. PayPal is fine, and it does work for business. The fees are a little bit, they just increase their fees, let's just say that. But it is the cost of doing business. When someone pays me $5, I get $4.55. So they took 45 cents. It's like 30 cents plus like 1.9% or something like that. Same with Stripe. There's credit card processing fees. Do not try to get around that. Again, it's the cost of doing business, and it's very important that you have the ease of use. If you want to accommodate for this, or if it's somehow taking away from what you're like the income that you're getting, then just raise your prices an extra dollar or 50 cents or something. So raise your prices. People will pay you whether it's $15 or $16. So they're too similar. Okay, payment processing software, got that. Set those up so you have them ready. If you do start using Offering Tree, it will walk you through setting up with Stripe. Stripe is the credit card processing. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. I do have on here email management software here. The reason I have that, it was separate, but again, Offering Tree does email management for you. So you could get started and start building your email list with Offering Tree. And I want to show you the example of that. So I have posted here, hey, get my yoga teacher guide at ashesyoga.com/VYT, right? That's what I share with you. It's a little landing page that it says, hey, get started in business and download the guide, and you get it in email. Well, that's through a site called ConvertKit, which is all right. I'll get to there. It's a little bit more than you need to get started, but I do this through ConvertKit. Cool, awesome. But you can also do it through Offering Tree. Again, go to my site, go check it out, ashesyoga.offeringtree.com. If you click on the right corner where it says free guide, a pop-up will come up, and you can also download the free guide. Okay, so I have it in multiple places. I'm just testing out which one actually, maybe which one I like better, which one I can recommend to you. So that was an easy way for me to get a PDF for you and grow my email list. And that's to have people opt in to get something for free. It could be a free meditation, a free video. It could be just a simple join my newsletter or sign up for updates without anything for free. And you just send a message saying, welcome to my email list. I'm glad you're here. Email is the number one thing I recommend building on any social media or marketing platform. Why? Because you own your email list. It can't get shut down. Whereas Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of that could get shut down. Your group could get deleted for no reason whatsoever. You could get hacked, all of that. But with your email list, you have it forever and ever. You can export it every so often to keep it safe in an Excel sheet or something like that. You have it at all times. It's the number one way to reach your audience, to connect with people, email lists. So emailing your audience an update is going to be seen much more than posting to Facebook or posting to Instagram. The people that actually want to work with you and want to be around you and want your updates are more beneficial to you than the random mass of people on the internet. So email list is very important whether you're building an online business or you're teaching in person. You also want a way to keep track of who's attended your classes. If you are working, side note, if you're working for someone else, do not take their emails. Do not try to build your business using someone else's information. That is very unethical. Illegal? But unethical? Very much so. And there are rules against doing that. If you work at a yoga studio and they have their own software and email system, you cannot copy and paste their emails. You cannot take people's emails. If someone walks in the door, you are there to provide information, content, and to hype up the studio, that business, not your own. So keep your own business separate from the places that you work as an employee. If you are curious what is and is not appropriate at your place of employment, please talk to the manager or owner so that you can have that discussion and you know upfront what is appropriate when you're teaching. If you can mention your Facebook group or tell people to join you on your website, that may or may not be appropriate. Please just have that talk. So there's your side note, okay? What else are we gonna talk about here? In the technology section, I also talk a little bit about liability insurance, but I'm gonna get more on that maybe tomorrow. Liability insurance is, I would say, a requirement for everybody. This is an expense you absolutely need to pay to keep yourself safe when you're teaching. If you're a part-time teacher, it's as little as $110 a year. So it keeps you safe if any accidents happen, if there are any lawsuits. Someone asked me yesterday, well, what about an LLC? That offers that level of protection in case something happens. Yes, it does, but so does liability insurance. And liability insurance, you should have that even if you have an LLC, because it's going to be that insurance that protects you. If something happens and you've only just set up an LLC and you get sued or something goes under, something happens like that, you can dissolve your LLC, you can bankrupt it, but we don't want to do that. Let's just keep ourselves safe. You don't need an LLC right away. Yoga teaching is pretty low liability, especially part-time, couple times a week. So the most important thing to protect yourself is to have insurance and perhaps a waiver. Insurance is most important. A waiver is double helpful. But a waiver without insurance won't necessarily hold up, but insurance without a waiver will help you, okay? So insurance is key. So we're just gonna mention that. I do have a discount with BYogi insurance for those of you in the United States. It's byogi.com/ashesyoga, ASHES yoga. byogi.com/ashesyoga, and you can get a discount on BYogi. There are a lot of other insurance sites out there. Just make sure that it covers online. So on-demand videos, live stream videos, any videos where you show up. So what is the difference though? Live stream versus on-demand. Live stream is in real time. So I'm seeing you as if you actually are there and you're seeing me in real time. That's what Zoom is for. That's what Facebook Live is. That's a live stream. Even though I can't see you, this is a live stream. On demand is a couple options. On demand can be pre-recorded. So you record a video and then you sell that video or have it for rent. On demand can also be replays of live stream videos. So you can record a live and offer it later as on demand, which is a great way to grow your business even more without you working more. So you do a live stream of a yoga class, maybe it was your best yoga class in your entire life, and then you offer it on your website for an additional cost if people want the replay. And you can sell it for $5, $10, $15, whatever it is, however much you want to sell it for, you can actually sell it right on Offering Tree. So they offer on-demand libraries. You'd have to upload it to the site itself. They don't have recording capabilities. It's not a recording software. So you need the file and then you upload it to their site where you can sell it or make it available for rent. I'm gonna keep talking about Offering Tree because next I'm gonna talk about everything that I pay to run my business. And to be honest, it's about $400 a month. That's not what you have to pay though. I promise you that's not how much you have to pay. I have a bigger list, so some of these things do cost a little bit more, and I'm on like the professional plan of a few things. But I want to go through and share with you all the softwares that I use to run my business and what I could cut out if I were eliminating things and going the easier route. Functional, not fancy. I'm at a point where right now I need to simplify, and maybe you are too. I've been using so many different softwares and piecing them together to make this like package of my business, but it's confusing and it's expensive. So let's take out that, and I'm just gonna run through these. So things that I use for my business that I pay for, you can actually find a list of most of these on my Offering Tree site under the resources page. So a lot of them I do pay for. Epidemic Sound for royalty-free music, $15 a month. Spotify, I don't use so much, but I still consider it a business expense, $10 a month. Apple iCloud Storage, $10 a month. StreamYard, where I can do slideshows in real time, $25 a month. You don't need that one though. Acuity Scheduling, I was using prior. If you have memberships and subscriptions, it's $25 a month. QuickBooks, to track my expenses, $27 a month. I hire a bookkeeper, $52.50 a month, $52.50. ConvertKit, for my email list, $99 a month. Zoom, $15 a month. Teachable, $99 a month, which is where I host my courses. And then I also have a shopping cart called Thrive Cart. It was a one-time fee of $690. And then my website probably costs about $200 a year to maintain with hosting and all the domains I have and the theme that I'm using. So I have a WordPress website. It's, again, fancy pants, but I don't recommend it anymore. You could get fancy with it, but as you're starting out, functionality and ease of use, most important. Okay, so all of those totaled to $377.50. If I add my website and Thrive Card in there, it's even more. So I would say like $400 a month. I can cut out ConvertKit for $99. I can cut out Teachable, $99. I can cut out Acuity, $25. And that right there is, and my website, cut that out. And that is about $250 I could cut out by just using Offering Tree instead. So I don't have to piece things together so much. Now, I'm on more of the pro plan and whatnot. So in reality, that would actually be Teachable, which is on a low cost, $39 a month. ConvertKit's $29 a month. Acuity is still going to be about $25 a month. And so that right there is close to 100 or so, or maybe it's like 70 something, 80, 90, 39, 29, 25, and my website. So it's about $100 a month on the low end, whereas Offering Tree is as low as $29 a month. And again, you can get 50% off using my code, and that's $15 a month. And then you don't have to pay for all those other things. Like, keep it simple until you can't anymore. Okay? Upgrade only when you absolutely need to. And again, I'm at a point where I could upgrade to all this fancy software and all these funnels and all these things that I don't even want to get into right here, but instead I'm scaling back and realizing it's simpler than you might think. Okay, moving on. And I do have the links here. It is clickable, so the Offering Tree link here is at the bottom, or you can go to my resources page and even find more of them. So here's your little worksheet. This is one of your homeworks, okay, is to fill this out. What I'm going to use as my camera, for me it's my Logitech Brio webcam and my computer. What I use for my microphone, I use my Rode Wireless Go, so I put that in here. What I'm going to use for lighting, natural light and my softbox light. I'm going to use these softwares to host my videos. Host means kind of like you're hosting a party coming in. So where am I going to host my party of my videos? I use YouTube, so that's one place. Also on Offering Tree. And I also use Zoom, so that's the software I'm going to use to host my classes. Zoom, YouTube, and Offering Tree. The link for my students to book and pay. Where can I send my students without me having to do the email dance back and forth? ashesyoga.com. I will have an email list with what software? You can choose Offering Tree, which isn't necessarily, it's more scheduling and booking software than anything, but it does have some elements, additional elements included. ConvertKit is what I use for email, and MailChimp is also an option. You might have heard of it, mailchimp.com. There are some free options with all of these to get started. And then I will have liability insurance through, where? I have BYogi. So fill this out just so that you're aware of what you have and what you're going to be using to get started. And if you want to upgrade something, you might write in there, upgrade this soon, or looking into options. So technology worksheet, that's for equipment and softwares. Now I have some homework for you, okay? And the last page of our technology talk is right here, yoga homework assignments, the video assignments. This is to get you comfortable on video. So many of us get caught up thinking, well, I need all the right equipment first, or first I need to get my website up. First I need to, no. What you need to do first is get comfortable being on video and doing the thing that you want to actually do. If it's teaching yoga, get comfortable teaching yoga. If it's mastering your poses that you use to teach yoga, then do that. So continue to do the thing that you're uncomfortable with, whereas technology equipment, that's all a side thing. We'll get there. That's easy. when it comes to actually showing up and being consistent, that's where a lot of us will struggle. So I've got 5 homework assignments. Here's what you can do. You can video yourself or do these assignments in the Yoga Sequencing and Teaching Tips Facebook group. Go ahead and go live. If you're doing one of these assignments, go live. It's a group of 16,000 people. Go live. It's probably one of the scariest things you can do. But if you go live and share one of these things, it's going to help you to get that confidence up. You have to do the thing that scares you. Another way that you could do these video assignments is to take a video on your phone or on your computer or using the setup that you have listed in the prior page, and take a video and upload it to YouTube or to your own Facebook page. But if you use YouTube, you have the option to set it as unlisted. So in YouTube, there are 3 options. There's public, unlisted, and private. The private one I don't use so much, but public means anyone, anywhere can find it and see it. Unlisted is what I have for many of my videos, and that is where the only people that can see it are people with a direct link. So if you share the direct link to our Facebook group, that would be the only reason and only way I will allow YouTube links inside of the Facebook group is if you're completing one of these assignments. And so knowing that, it might be a good idea to do this and make sure you say you're doing one of the assignments so that it's kind of a sneaky way to promote yourself too on your YouTube channel. Just gonna say it, just putting it out there. I actually know all of the sneaky ways that you can promote yourself in Facebook groups. I've probably done it. And so if I see it, I can call you out on it, or I can let it slide. And if you're completing these assignments, I let it slide. So what are these assignments? It's just to gain confidence on camera. You've got to get yourself out there to do the thing you actually want to do that scares you. So we're starting small. The first assignment is to video yourself 1 to 3 minutes, just yourself doing some poses, doing some yoga poses. That's it. You're practicing. You might do 1 sun salutation. No talking, no anything. Just a video of you, your body moving. So you're comfortable with what you look like on camera. Set up your space. Make sure you have good alignment. Make sure you can see yourself. All that. That's number 1 assignment. Number 2 is to record yourself like I'm doing right here with a headshot video, doing an introduction of who you are. Hi, my name is Ashley, and I help new yoga teachers with technology frustrations because I know how it is, and because I consider myself a bit of a tech nerd and a person that loves to solve problems. So I'll help you out. I also teach morning movement and meditation classes. Head on over to my website at ashesyoga.com. On the schedule page, you can find that. So any kind of introduction, and it might be a fake introduction, it can be an actual introduction you say in your yoga classes, or just an introduction of who you are as a teacher. So that would be appropriate to also post and share here. The third one is to record yourself actually teaching a few minutes of a yoga class. It can be a 5-minute meditation. It can be maybe 5 or 10 minutes tops, doesn't have to be big at all, but record yourself teaching something. Maybe it's how to get into downward facing dog or how to appropriately do a lunge. Think of those sort of how-to things and make it short. Often, once you get talking, you might be able to talk a lot longer on a pose than you realize. When you start talking about the alignment and the benefits and all of the things when it comes to our yoga poses or practice, breath work. So, record yourself teaching a few minutes, actually talking this time. Number 4, get a few friends to join you for a Zoom class, just a free one. Just saying, hey, I want to practice, and I'm looking for a few friends to give me some feedback or to join me in practicing a 20 or 30-minute yoga class. This is to get used to Zoom. So getting on Zoom, setting up your settings, and getting feedback from people who are helpful. You are welcome to ask for that in this group. Ask for people to hop on Zoom with you to help you out to set up your settings. I mean, if I had the time or if I was available at the time, I would love to help you too. So go ahead and either ask in this group or just find a friend or two just to help you get used to teaching on live stream on Zoom if that's one of your goals. definitely ask for feedback. And the 5th homework assignment for video homework is to record and upload a short yoga lesson to your YouTube channel and make it public. So this is more setting up on YouTube. If you do not have a YouTube channel, I teach that. I teach how to set up a YouTube channel. That's inside Virtual Vinyasa Academy and a few other places. I do have lessons on how to set up a YouTube channel. So this one, there's a little bit more involved, which is why it's number 5 in the 5th one. This is after you've done all the others. It would be more so working with YouTube itself as a means of marketing and getting to understand search engine optimization. Again, I don't want to get too much into that right here, right now, but all you're doing is setting a video public on YouTube just to get over those fears of like actually putting yourself out there in a public way. I can almost guarantee that little to no one, very few or no one will actually see this video unless you share it elsewhere. If you post a public video on YouTube, it's going to get lost in the sea of YouTube, and very rare that someone will find it and click on it unless you did a really great job with optimizing it and the content, and it's a little tough to get seen on YouTube. I have the method, so I have the insider's notes on how to do that. But for your first one, it's really just about playing with it and seeing what it's like. Okay? That's our technology discussion. I don't see any comments. Oh, do I? Nope. I don't see any comments, which is fine. Oh wait, here we go. Nina, I'm not sure if it's my computer, or offering tree, but I can change the time. I can't, she must mean can't change the time the class starts. Will there be more tips on how to use offering tree? Yes, you are in a Virtual Vinyasa Academy and you're in the Confident Yogi Club. So I will have that for you. Tess asks, do you have template for waivers? You can actually, there's a default waiver. If you use offering tree, they have a default waiver that I just use their default. And I just click use the default waiver and it populates in there. So it's not something I have to create. It's something that's already in there. I do have a few other waiver examples. If you search in the yoga sequencing and teaching tips group, look in the images or the photos and you'll see photos of my yoga studio waiver. As far as waivers, you can also find templates in different legal yoga books. There's Light on Law by Gary Kissia, and there is the Yoga Law book too. So there's a few legal yoga books that will give you examples. In my yoga teacher training manual, that not the one I created, but the one I took, there are also some examples of yoga waivers. But honestly, with Offering Tree, they make it easy, and there's a default waiver in there that I just use that one. So, and I can set it up where people have to sign the waiver every class or just one time, and it's good for like a year. So that's for waivers. And that's more so getting into like the business elements. But it is appropriate to ask those because it does play along with your scheduling and booking software, which is technology and equipment software. So exciting. I know this was very much more like a how-to, what do you use? I'm actually trying to share as much as I can and all of the knowledge that I have on all of this. I'm not trying to hide anything, or I'm actually not even trying to just teach you about mindset or the what and the why. Instead, I'm actually here teaching you the how-to. So I'm teaching you as much as the how-to that I can in the 45 to 50 minutes that I put myself on video. If you want the actual lessons and all the things, if you are ready to really be serious about starting and growing your yoga business, that's what Virtual Vinyasa Academy is for. And I've got different pricing options to join if you are at that point where you're like, hey, Ashley, I want personalized, customized help from you. I want group coaching calls from you. I want one-on-one calls with you. I need more help. I need that push. Then that's what Virtual Vinyasa Academy is. It's a 6-month coaching program. And it's really me just helping you keep accountable and to learning about all the things you need to do and all the things that you need to know to be successful as a yoga teacher. And I'm revamping it quite a bit, so it is a little bit longer of a course, and I want to take my time with you to really get to know you, your business, and what it is that you're offering. So that's VVA. You can find more about that at ashesyoga.com/VVA, stands for Virtual Vinyasa Academy. If you want to, where is this? If you have the Virtual Yoga Teacher Guide and you go to the very last page, that's my invitation right here. Thanks for downloading. Do you feel a little more lost? Then go to this website to get more information about how to work with me. I do share some of this in my membership. I have a small membership, low cost membership for yoga teachers. It's not open right now. I might open it soon. I share some of this, but it's more so getting you comfortable teaching, whereas the business behind the scenes and really up-leveling your business is in Virtual Vinyasa Academy. And I'm excited tomorrow to talk about the method for business growth. Look, it's a fancy acronym. ASHES. Go figure. And I'm really excited to talk about that because I've been updating and creating so much behind the scenes for everybody here. And if you want a sneak peek at that, make sure that you download the Virtual Yoga Teacher Guide, and you can sneak peek at my method for business growing and growth. And if you want me to be your personalized coach mentor, then go check out Virtual Vinyasa Academy. Yes, wonderful. I love it. So that's sort of what this is leading to, and I don't hide anything when I do these videos. I'm sharing as much as I can with you and inviting you to go deeper with me. If you get what you need from these live videos, from the replays, cool, awesome. Take it, run with it, be successful. I'm so excited for you. You are a go-getter. You are someone who doesn't need necessarily someone to keep you accountable, or you're not looking for the group support, anything, coaching calls. You're like, I got the info, I'm gonna go with it. But if you are someone who would like accountability, who needs a community of like-minded people, a smaller community, this one's rather large, so a smaller community and group coaching and the ability to ask those questions on Zoom or in private calls, then VVA might be for you, okay? All right, that's what we have today. Thank you for joining our technology discussion. I have loads of additional equipment and technology videos to help you over on my YouTube channel. I know there are so many calls to action in this, but make sure you can press pause on the replay and then go check out the things I'm telling you to do. But my YouTube channel has all sorts of information on equipment, technology, and software. I am just getting started talking about Offering Tree a lot more, so you won't see yet me with a lot of information on it yet, but that is coming, I promise. And those of you in Virtual Vinyasa Academy will get a lot more of those behind the scenes as well. Okay, have a wonderful, lovely rest of your day. I am off to help out my VVA students. So thank you for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow where we talk more about building a business plan.